Hey guys, so today we are coming out of the intensity of the Sun opposition Pluto yesterday that also had the Moon in square to the Sun and Pluto. Very intense T-square that we had setting up yesterday. Could have brought up some power struggles and themes along those lines. Anyways, though, today we have the Moon leaving Aries, moving into the sign of Taurus. That means that the Moon will be forming a square to Mercury and also a conjunction to Mars. We are going from what was perhaps some very intense situations yesterday to some very heated, just generally tense situations that may be going on today. With the Moon forming the conjunction to Mars, especially in the square to Mercury, this could definitely bring up some fights, some conflicts, some arguments, some harsh words, some hurt feelings, specifically along the lines of resources, finances, money, supplies, food, values, home, family, or generally ego issues could be surfacing, manifesting, causing some emotional upsets today and just generally disturbing the peace. Energy is disturbing the peace today, kind of across the board. So that's what I have to say for my intro, you guys. A lot to talk about again today. We really want to try to keep a handle on our temper today. So let's get into this report and talk about what specifically we have playing out and how specifically it might be impacting us today. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today is Thursday, July 21st, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological energetic outlook of the day. If you guys stick with me till the end of the report, I'm also going to be talking about the tarot cards that came out in correspondence to the astrology today, just to give us, of course, a more well-rounded, holistic overview of the energy as it is being imprinted today. So let's start with the astrology, you guys. Like I said, we're in it. We're in a very crazy, intense, changeable, dynamic, explosive time right now. We are building into this Mars, Uranus, North Node conjunction that is going to be happening on the 31st of this month, bridging into the 1st of August. We've been talking about this a lot because we need to talk about this a lot because it is really coloring and characterizing everything that is going on energetically right now. And this is a big push in terms of our transition into the age of Aquarius, you guys. We're talking about the planet Uranus ruling the sign of Aquarius, ruling our energetic and vibrational shift into the age of Aquarius. Mars, action, energy, assertiveness, willpower, bravery, force, aggression, passion, all of that, energy generally. And the North Node, this is destiny, the hand of God, the path ahead, what we are being pulled towards, the next phase of growth. And with these three bodies coming together in the sky, this is a great awakening that is revolutionary and highly energized, and it is likely to bring some big, shocking, unexpected, dynamic, combustible changes that are really radically shifting things for us and actually helping us to rediscover our own authentic truth and begin to tap and cultivate that moving forward into this age of Aquarius. But the thing is, because it's Uranus, our pursuit of getting there may be a little discombobulated, a little chaotic, a little terrifying, a little unstable. But it's what is necessary at this point in order to sort of shake us out of whatever has been keeping us from activating our destiny, rising to our high potential, embracing the truth of ourselves, and really walking down that path. So all that being said, it's every day building up for the rest of this month, building up to this conjunction. It's sort of we have these aspects and these transits going on that are playing into it in one way or another. And I'm definitely reading today's chart. I was definitely reading yesterday's chart in that capacity. Today, also very much, it's we're coming out of this very powerful T-square that we had set up yesterday with both luminaries and Pluto in the end of Capricorn at the natal return of the United States degree. This was probably setting up some really fierce power struggles and power dynamics and powerful encounters and confrontations that were very transformative for us in one way or another, or really showed us the truth about something or put something into context or exposed something to us or help to empower give us some sort of self-empowerment in some type of way. These themes of power, control, the breakdown of the hierarchies of power and control from the past, and this form of like individualized, internalized self-empowerment that is rising within the collective of humanity, that is also helping us to make this bridge and transition into the age of Aquarius, the return to our authentic truth, the tapping of our potential, the activating of our destiny, all of these key components to our energetic shift into the age of Aquarius. And today, again, I'm looking at these activations along these same lines. Today, like I said, the moon is leaving the sign of Aries, where it set up that T-square yesterday between the sun and Cancer, and Pluto and Capricorn, these cardinal signs, right? And moving into the sign of Taurus today. Now, don't forget, the sign of Taurus is also currently hosting Uranus and the North Node, and of course, Mars building into this conjunction. Now, today, Mars is at 12 degrees of Taurus. Uranus is at 19 degrees of Taurus, and 19, that is the specific degree where this conjunction will happen. Uranus is already like locked and loaded, set and ready. And the North Node is currently at 21 degrees of Taurus. Now, tomorrow is going to be another big day. I'll let you guys know right off the bat, because tomorrow the moon will be moving through Taurus and will hit the conjunction to the North Node, Uranus, and also square Saturn, trine Pluto. We have the Mars conjunction today. Tomorrow is definitely going to be another day where this big change, revolutionary, shock, surprise, things happening out of the blue to radically realign things, energy is likely to be activated. But building into that conjunction that we have coming up tomorrow, that is sort of giving us a preview a little bit of this pending conjunction that we have between the three planets, Mars, Uranus, North Node, coming up at the end of the month. Today, we have the moon forming the conjunction to Mars, and because Mercury is also in another fixed sign right now, Mercury recently moved into the sign of Leo, transiting the early degrees of Leo, the moon in Taurus is also going to be forming a square to Mercury. So that means for today in our energetic blueprint, we have a Taurus moon, you guys, that is forming a square to Mercury and a conjunction to Mars. So this is some very fixed energy that we are navigating today. So people could definitely be acting a bit stubborn, a bit hard-headed, a bit strong-willed about stuff, like maybe really putting up a fight in one way or another, something that we may be encountering today. Now let's talk more specifically about these aspects that are playing out. First of all, the moon in Taurus forming the conjunction to Mars and the square to Mercury. Mars squaring Mercury with the moon there. This is generally likely to bring up some type of misunderstandings or feeling misunderstood generally. The moon, our emotions, what's going on inside of us, our feelings about stuff, and Mercury. This is our logical mind. This is like our linear perception. This is our rationality. So when we have these two at odds with each other, a lot of times our judgment is a little bit clouded by our emotions, and we generally have a much stronger tendency to be like perceiving our feelings as fact. Like really, the emotional side of things has a tendency to sort of win out over the logical side of things when we have a square going on between the moon and Mercury, the emotions and the mind. And then we need to add Mars to it, and Mars is our action. Mars is our energy body. So this is sort of telling me that in the energy today, and Mars is the action that we take, right? So this is sort of telling me that like, people are likely to be taking some type of action, or their behavior is likely to be very motivated by these feelings that are coming up that are outweighing the logic and the rationality of things. So people are likely to be acting quite irrational today. We'll just put it that way. And like behaving in more irrational ways that are based on a perception of some type of powerful or strong feeling, passionate feeling that is going on right now that we are perceiving as like an actual fact, as opposed to just like an emotion that we are experiencing like in a moment based on, a feeling or something like that. So something to keep in mind, the emotional energy today is likely driving and motivating some actions, and it could be quite passionate. fights, and now we're talking about Mars and Mercury as well. Mars is the fire planet. It rules anger and aggressions and fights and conflicts and, heat and swords, blades, sharp objects. It also rules, though, energy, passion, willpower, motivation, strength, courage, bravery, like all of this type of stuff, all along the warrior archetype, right? The two sides of sort of the divine masculine energy. And we're talking about this misunderstanding energy as well, or this imbalance between logic and feeling. So this imbalance that is going on, this emotional irrationality that is playing out today, or our emotions maybe taking a prominence over the rational side of things, could be creating these fights, these conflicts, these arguments, leading to some real hurt feelings, some real harsh words, some emotional wounding, anger, rage, depression also could be very much so going on when we have the moon coming into the conjunction with Mars. And this is likely to be in regards to things having to do with money, resources, values, supplies, food, how we're spending our money, like the things that we want to buy, also family, home, things to do with like the community or our hometown or the mother, stuff like that. Fights with women could also be very prominent today in this energy with the moon and Mars coming together. And also it could be in regards to like who's in charge, or there could be some real ego battles going on today as well, with Mars forming the square to Mercury in the sign of Leo. Leo can also be a more ego dominant sign. Mars rules the ego, and so with the square going on, this could also be bringing up some ego issues that are causing these fights, conflict, or this just more generally like hot-headed behavior. This is like people just being very heated, really needing to blow off some steam, but not necessarily like wanting a long-term consequence or long-term result, or like the things that are coming out of people's mouths today, though, I don't feel like have a lot of like staying power. Like I don't feel like people are really like following through on the threats that they might be like lodging against us today in one way or another, but it's more about just like, getting out this emotion, like letting out some internalized tension, stress that's been building. And this is not the energy where we want to be emotionally attaching you guys to other people's like displays of irrationality, because that is likely to be generally what it is. And because of course, Mercury in the sign of Leo as well, this is a desire to like really be creative and to play and to have fun and to like engage in just like generally celebrating or enjoying our life. Like that is sort of where our mind is geared at this point in time. And so whatever's going on today, these conflicts, these arguments, they may really on one hand be interfering with our ability to like have some fun or enjoy our lives, or play in some way, or disrupting our creative inspiration, or interfering with like the flow of our passions and creativity and stuff like that. So that may also be contributing to these more like just irritated, angry feelings that we may be experiencing, that may be going on as well. Another aspect of this, just generally like disturbing the peace across the board. Think about it, because we're talking about right now Mars in the sign of Taurus, right? Taurus is ruled by Venus, okay? And then we're talking about Venus, ruler of where the Mars and the moon are conjoining today, in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and we have the moon with Mars. So there's sort of this like feedback loop that's going on today between Mars, Venus, and the moon. And of course, with Venus in the sign of Cancer, Venus ruling peace, balance, harmony, beauty, there could just be things like disturbing the peace. Like I said, disturbing the peace, upsetting the balance of things, upsetting the harmony of things going on within the home and the family, or to do with, like I said, like the mother, or just like early childhood stuff coming up, or stuff like that is going on today. We also have, before I forget to mention this, we also have Chiron, speaking of early childhood stuff, stationing retrograde today. So in Chiron, this is the wounded healer teacher archetype. This rules our hero's journey, which is another way of sort of phrasing our transition into the age of Aquarius. Because in order to make that truly happen, we do have to go through this like hero's journey, which is the same thing. It's like transmuting our lower states of victimhood into these states of self-mastery, like going through this internalized healing process where we gain this wisdom and allows us to tap our potential potential and sort of change the way that we interact and relate with the creative forces of this universe, which brings us into a sense of, again, like self-mastery and co-creative ability with God and universe, which is also the trajectory of our path towards the age of Aquarius and the way that things are going to be operating once we get more immersed in these vibrations and raise our frequencies to match the incoming frequencies of this new age. And so with Chiron coming up, going retrograde today as well, in the midst of this situation that we have playing out in terms of the planets, we are probably likely also entering a phase of some very internalized processing, healing, learning about some of our, again, like our root issues, maybe like our early experiences that created a certain mindset that has carried us to a certain point in our lives but is no longer benefiting us, and we need to learn how to release ourselves from that and move on to a mental approach or a way of viewing reality, interacting reality that is more conducive to our success going forward and less of, maybe something that was protecting us in the past but is no longer benefiting us in one way or another. Like the Chiron retrograde energy moving forward over this next several weeks, we are also in a process of some very deep inner healing work that is going on as well. And it is happening today in correspondence with this Mars moon conjunction, Venus in the sign of Cancer, that also may be perhaps bringing up some wounding, some issues, some hurt feelings that may be triggering, maybe some things from early childhood that are still lingering in the background and not benefiting us at this point that need to be like healed over this Chiron retrograde process, as these two things are happening in correspondence today. So lots of just opportunity for perhaps some emotional upset going on in the field today. But you guys, there is a positive feature of this chart that is building in and that is moving into fruition over this next couple days. Not that this energy isn't positive. I mean, there are some very positive uses of this energy. Mars in a conjunction to the moon. This is very good energy for getting some hard work done, especially along the lines of our projects or what we want to build or any creative pursuits that we are engaged in. Mars conjunct the moon and square to Mercury. This is some really strong ability to really tap into some like passionate creative inspiration and use it as motivation to start like building or creating or cultivating something that really like feeds our soul in one way or another and like sort of makes us feel alive and brings us a sense of joy and fun also through this creative execution of whatever's going on, with Mercury in the sign of Leo right now and Mars in the sign of Taurus, the sign of the builder. There is a lot of very creative potential for really getting some things done that can be like very, very good quality productions in their outcome in this energy. It's a good way to use this energy instead of like fighting and arguing with people, tapping into, this energy and channeling any of this frustration or anything into a creative pursuit or into some like hard work, physical activity, or just generally like the things that we are working on creating, producing. Good use of this energy, positive use of this energy. But we also, Mercury being in Leo, have Mercury building into a trine with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. And this is wonderful, you guys. This is letting us know that we're probably likely to be getting some good news about something. Some positive, uplifting news should be coming through over the course of the next couple days, maybe over the course of the weekend, that again, like inspires and motivates us to move forward in some type of way, or gives us some type of joy, or sort of makes us feel alive in one way or another. Again, just generally inspires, uplifts, restores like hope, faith, optimism. This type of stuff, we are likely to come into some contact with some type of information, some type of messaging, communication, or just something that we're hearing, conversation that we're having coming through that is helping to restore the positivity or bringing us some good news in one way or another. And this is coming in over the course of the weekend. But for today, generally, I have to say, things just might be getting a little bit heated. This energy of Mars in Taurus may also have us feeling a bit stuck. Mars in Taurus can be a bit sort of like a stick in the mud, or, something like that, because Mars is very action oriented and really wants to like get up and go and move forward. But Taurus is fixed earth. Like Taurus can be very slow moving and very like restrictive in its like just ability to sort of, move quickly. And so there may be just generally a feeling of like being a bit stuck, or things interfering with our action or our forward movement, or like, again, just coming up against some resistance or some stubborn, like headstrong, strong, hard-willed energy that may be like giving us some issues in one way or another. And people may be really like tearing into somebody today, or we may really feel like giving somebody a piece of our mind. And that is just what is represented in this energy. Like Moon and Mars squaring Mercury. We need to get something off of our chest. And, we do need to do it. Like, we should not be repressing the need to like speak our mind in this energy, because that can, boil over and cause even worse problems. But we just don't want to be picking fights with people. Like, we don't want to be taking our anger or our aggression or whatever's going on inside of us like out on someone else. We want to do our best to channel it into some type of hard work or some type of project or some type of like creative thing that we are involved in. And again, this could have a lot to do with feeling misunderstood, or misunderstandings generally, or just not having a clear, logical perception of things, and just being really, really wrapped up in some very passionate emotions. Feelings likely dominating the rational mind today, and people are definitely likely, like I said, to be getting some things off their chest, blowing off steam, releasing tension. And I don't feel like, though, that the things, that people are saying or people are doing or people are threatening in this energy are likely to actually like move forward or happen. When this energy shifts and the moon moves into the conjunction with Uranus in the North Node tomorrow, we may be dealing with something totally different by the time that, 24 hours later. So we just don't want to take too seriously whatever may be attacking, whatever we may feel like sort of bombarded by, or like if we feel under attack or something in some type of way today. We don't really want to get too emotionally attached to it. Another thing today, we do have the sun at 29 degrees of Cancer. That Sabian symbol is a Greek muse weighing newborn twins in golden scales. So we may be juggling options in one way or another, weighing choices, weighing options, going back and forth about something. With that Pluto opposition to the sun yesterday, we may have really discovered something may have made itself very well known to us. Something may have been exposed to us in some type of a way that is changing our mind about something, and we may really be in a place right now where we are sort of just weighing some options in one way or another. And we do need to remember, we still have the sun in a trine to Neptune. The sun is at 29 degrees of Cancer today. Neptune is currently at 26 degrees of Pisces. This is a very strong spiritual influence, a very, very psychic energy happening in water signs. And we also have the Earth today and Jupiter today, both at degrees referencing spiritual guidance. The Earth today is at 29 Capricorn, a woman reading tea leaves. And Jupiter right now is at 9 degrees of Aries. A seer gazes intently into a crystal ball in front of them. And so with these two Sabian symbols in effect today, and also with the sun and the trine to Neptune, looking upwards, looking inwards for guidance or for help if we feel like we are sort of at this boiling point today and we don't know what to do, or we don't know what to say, or we are having a hard time making a choice or decision in this energy. Spiritual guidance, very strong. Spiritual assistance, support, clarity, like that's where we go today. Our inner compass and our spiritual guidance, releasing the burdens to the divine, with the faith that things are being rearranged right now in a way that is actually going to be conducive to our success, fulfillment, and happiness going forward, even if in this moment right now it sort of feels like things are falling apart, things are unpredictable, and things are sort of on a shaky ground or not a very steady foundation. At this moment, we are just in these times, you guys, like, I don't mean to make, a bigger deal out of things or to over dramatize things, but we're in a shift of ages right now. We have an aspect pending that hasn't happened in over 2,000 years that is coming at the end of this month, and it's just what it is. So big stuff going on yet again today, and like I said, tomorrow we are moving towards some some possible changes and realignments playing out as well that could be throwing us for a little bit of a loop. So we'll see how it goes. But today, we are definitely keeping a hold of ourselves. We are doing our best to channel any internalized tension, anger into something productive and not take it out on the people in our lives, specifically like our children or our family, stuff like that. And we are just letting the cards fall at this point in time, sort of stepping back and letting things unfold and not trying to overreact or to emotionally attach to the erratic or irrational behavior of others as this energy is playing out. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute, you guys. We had some tarot cards come out this morning. It's actually really strange because I ended up having the exact same card on the back of the deck today after shuffling that I had yesterday. And that's, very slim chances of that happening. But let's talk about the cards. We had 4 cards coming out of the deck. The first card that we had coming out of the deck is the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is telling me, you guys, just generally disturbing the peace, emotional upset. Things within the home and family may feel a little bit upside down on their head at this point in time. We may be dealing with some hurt feelings, some hurt emotions, or generally feeling out of control of our own emotions. And again, this is the feminine. We're talking about the moon and Mars together. This could also be bringing up some fights, some disagreements, some conflicts with women, like the mother component of things, or again, in regards to the home, the family, the Cancer realms of life. We're talking about the Queen of Cups, a water sign in reverse. Just lack of emotional control and lack of peace, harmony, balance that could be going on today, and definitely some perhaps hurt feelings or some harsh words. And then we had the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This could, again, be because of some type of, what could be causing these fights and conflicts or this emotional upset could definitely have to do with finances, with money, with resources, with supplies, with work partnerships, work relationships, projects that we've been working on. Again, it could definitely be impacting the home and the family, causing some emotional upset. But I feel like the things that we are likely to be maybe contesting or fighting over are more likely to be along the lines of money, values, resources, supplies, and just generally maybe feeling a bit unstable or uncertain about our finances, about our resources, about our financial stability at this point in time. Now, the next 2 cards that came out, we got the World. So this is talking about the end of a cycle. This is something having come full circle, having reached the end of a cycle, the end of a culmination point. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, juggling choices, juggling decisions. On the back of the deck, we had the Seven of Wands, which is the same card that came out on the back of the deck yesterday. Now, when we put all of these cards together, I feel like this is talking about, as we are heading towards this big time conjunction that is coming up within this next couple of weeks, you guys, I feel like this is just generally saying we may be feeling a bit out of our own emotional power today, ability to regulate our own emotions, ability to exercise some self-control over our own emotions, more maybe some negative emotions that are sort of running the show today. And it seems like it has to do with us feeling out of control in our stability, in our solid footing, in our financial sphere of life, in the material sphere of life, in terms of our ability to be independent or to be just supporting ourselves some type of way. These 2 cards in combination are reminding me of this Black Moon in Cancer that we have going on that has been such a significant part of this whole month of July that we've had playing out, and our new moon cycle that we are in right now, the new moon in Cancer cycle that was in a conjunction to the Black Moon, just speaks of some stability issues that are really causing some emotional upset. But it's the end of a cycle. We've reached the end of something. We've reached the culmination. We've reached the closing point. We've come full circle. We have the World here. And this also could be saying, this is something that is very collective that we are experiencing right now. It's happening individually, but it's also, just generally the state of the world at large. And it's also referencing the end of a cycle that maybe is bringing us to this point where we are feeling like we need to make some type of decision that, again, may be causing this emotional upset, this emotional disturbance, because we're not sure of like the state of things moving forward. But with the seven, you guys, with the 7 of Wands on the back of the deck, we need to keep pushing forward. We need to keep moving forward in the direction of our passions, in the direction of what, you know, lights a fire within our soul. Like, this is talking about the wands. This is talking about that fire energy. This is talking about, you know, being true to our heart. And it's also talking about this creative energy. And we really just need to follow our passion and our inspiration and not allow, you know, whatever setbacks are going on right now to hold us back. Like, this guy is facing a lot of perhaps like obstacles, but he is ready. He's braced against them. He is pushing forward, and he's not giving up. Like, he's going to keep going. And that's what we need to do, because we are about to enter like a new phase of experience with this world card being here. Yeah, we might need to make some difficult choices and decisions coming up, but actually, under the 7 of Wands on the back of the deck, we had the King of Cups. So what we are pushing forward, what we are going towards, is a much more solid state of self-control, of emotional regulation, of internal self-empowerment, and an ability to sort of like be the captain of our own ship. We're talking about the King of Cups. So that's what we are moving forward towards, and we cannot let whatever is interfering with our positive attitude or our perception of our own independence or our own stability interfere with things today. We have reached the end of a cycle, and we are just weighing options, weighing choices right now. And then we also got the Sabian symbol of the earth today, a Greek muse weighing newborn twins on golden scales. So we have those two correlations going on today as well. So that is what I have to report from the tarot cards. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. And oh, there's one that wants to come out right away. Wow, you guys. See what message we have from God and Spirit to help guide our path today. This card says persist. And what were we saying about the 7 of Wands? Persist, keep moving forward. It says persist. Because of his persistence, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. Luke 11:8-9. Nothing is too large or too small, and your persistence in believing in God's ability to provide whatever it is you seek will bring you to your goal. Persistence, waiting, patience, and never failing faith will lead you to your goal. So that's the thing, you guys, say, like, in the midst of this more heated, aggressive energy, we really just need to be willing to sort of like step back a little bit, have some patience, and have some persistence, have some determination. Like, allow this Moon Mars conjunction, it may be getting us fired up about something, but it needs to be getting us fired up about being motivated, about willing to persist, willing to stick to our goals, willing to stick to our progress, willing to move forward in the face of the difficulty that we might be facing, or the setbacks, or the challenges, or the arguments, or the fights, or the attacks, or like whatever we're dealing with right now. We need to keep moving forward, not lose faith, not lose hope. You guys, again, we should be getting some good news soon with Mercury in the trine to Jupiter. And this energy will pass. Again, by the time we get to tomorrow, we're going to be in a whole different vibe, and things are likely to be maybe changing a bit dramatically. So that is what I have to say today, you guys. A message from the stars, message from the cards. I hope you liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you a little bit of whatever you're needing as you are navigating this very interesting, heated energy that we have going on today. If you guys did like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in this type of content too. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I am so grateful for you guys being here. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. I really appreciate your feedback. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below, and come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We are going to have more intense energy to talk about. Uranus North Node activated by the moon tomorrow, giving us another glimpse into this big conjunction that we have pending on the 31st. So I will be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you then. Have a beautiful day, everybody. And until tomorrow, bye, guys.